Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Do we begin with this? That is right, I lost a bet, and it pains me. It pains me to take my Philadelphia sports down to put up this crap. But that's what happens when your team doesn't come out focused, and that's what happened with the Philadelphia Eagles today at home, and I'm sick about it. I'm sick about it. What is going on, everyone? That is right. The Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Detroit Lions, and they shot themselves in the foot so many times. It's so hard to believe that they actually shot themselves in the foot 50,382 different times. But they did. There's something else, though, that's hard to believe. Free money. And that's right. It's hard to believe that, but it's true. I can give you free money. Use the promo code BROADS at SeatGeek's checkout for $20 off. Get yourself to a game. So you can either be very disappointed like some Eagles fans, or you can get all rowdy and hyped up if you're a Lions fan. You can have those type of emotions at the game. And $20 off of that. But let's dive into this, all right? Because 7 drop passes, yup, they were an issue. For the second straight game, Carson Wentz delivers the game-winning throw, and the receiver drops it. JJ Arcega-Whiteside there at the 1-2 yard line. Go ahead and watch the replay. It is all over Twitter. Yes, there was a man in front of him, but the ball hit both hands, and this is the National Football League. This isn't Pop Warner. This isn't high school. Okay, this is the National Football League. There will be people on you, and you are still considered open, okay? Carson Wentz puts the ball in his hands. It hit both hands on 4th and 15, and it went to the 1 yard line. It hit both hands, and he dropped it. So for the second straight game, Carson Wentz delivers the throw, and they weren't able to catch the ball. But there were plenty of other opportunities where guys messed up. Dallas Goedert in the end zone. Now, we ended up scoring on that play, but 2 minutes, not on that play, on that drive, but 2 minutes went off the clock. Mac Hollins had a drop. Of course, Nelson Agholor with some drops thrown in there, and the fumble. Miles Sanders, don't even get me started on the nightmare that was. Fumbling the football. How about our special teams? Let's get away from just the drop passes and the fumbling, because that was atrocious to begin with. How about the special teams? Really? The Eagles get the ball first, which I was pumped about. Now, it's not like they won the coin toss. They lost the coin toss. The Lions wanted to defer, but I wanted the ball. I wanted the ball first so we can go down and score. We ended up getting a field goal. The offense flowed. There was rhythm to it. I was okay with it. And instantly, you allow that garbage? You allow the Lions to score a touchdown off a kickoff? That's disgusting to even think about. So special teams, terrible. How many offensive pass interference calls were there? Mac Hollins with a couple of them. Darren Sproles with one, which... man, if that was missed, that would have been lovely. Because that was a really nice catch in a tough situation. But the team was not focused. Our defensive line sucks. This defense thrives off getting pressure to the quarterback. We are so lost with our defensive front that Jim Schwartz is blitzing. You know what I mean? Like, that's absurd. This guy doesn't blitz. We've been screaming for how long now that Jim Schwartz needs to blitz? Well, now he's blitzing left and right because he's out of options. He has to do it. There's no other way to play, because if you sit back, your defensive line will not touch the quarterback at all. Matt Stafford will sit in the pocket with 3,000 hours until we find someone open, because you know Ronald Darby's going to get blown by at some point, or you know Sidney Jones isn't going to be in the right spot at some point, so you gotta blitz at times, and it gets toasted too, because they make the play happen. Our best cornerback is Rasul Douglas. That's crazy to say. It really is crazy to say. Doug Peterson. We love his aggressiveness. Was there a moment in this game where he took it a little too far? We still had the 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts. We were down 3. It was 4th and 8 on our 22-yard line, and we go for it. Carson Wentz scrambles, and he ends up being a yard shy as he runs. Now, did Carson Wentz have the best game ever? No. Did he have a great, fantastic game? No. Was Carson Wentz good enough to win this game? Absolutely. Absolutely he was. Was there a couple times where he missed a guy here and there? Sure. That's football. And then if you say, well, Tom Brady wouldn't miss it, or Drew Brees wouldn't miss it, or Aaron Rodgers wouldn't miss it. Okay. I don't put Carson Wentz in that tier. That tier is hard to touch. If you think Carson Wentz is that, well, then you're wrong. And if you think that's the only way that you can ever do anything in this league, well, then you're also wrong. So, let's get that out of the way. But did Doug Peterson go for it way too soon? Should he have punted it? He got lucky. He got lucky because we end up blocking the field goal. Like the Lions are trying to make it a 6-point game. They block the field goal. Rasul Douglas ends up running it back. And of course, Malcolm Jenkins, the one who had the play happen, he gets a foul and it brings us back to the 50. No. That's a mistake. Like, I'm so pumped that the play happened, but you can't do that. You can't get the flag because at that point, we could be in field goal territory and it's a totally different story. Mental mistakes. Not being focused. Not being ready. It's almost as if no one wanted to step up today. There were times where Mac Hollins makes the play, but he had to down the stretch. He had to catch the football. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, whew. Maybe we overhyped him a little bit. Dallas Goedert, I know he's battling through some injuries. Wide open touchdown, can't drop it. And how about this? Jordan Howard was used in a drive where we went down and we scored a touchdown. Then Deuce doesn't put him back in. Like, what's the rotation? Now, in my preview video, I stated I wanted to see Darren Sproles and Miles Sanders out of the backfield more. And what I meant by that is the Lions are not good at running backs who can catch the ball. They're not good at stopping that. We had a play after the fumbles and whatnot. We had the play with Miles Sanders out of the backfield. He ended up catching a ball for a nice gain. I wanted to use that more. But in terms of running, and after witnessing the game and being in the moment, after seeing Jordan Howard have the most success, how we don't go back to him is mind-blowing. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he shows in practice. I don't know what the coaching staff has against this guy. But you got to give him more touches. You got to run the football more with him. Miles Sanders is clearly not ready. Now, is he a boss? No, all right? And I'm sure you're going to have the overreaction Monday, without a doubt, when everyone starts freaking out and saying the season's all over. But you got to find a way to run Jordan Howard more. I thought Darren Sproles should have been utilized more, too, as well. Once you realize Miles Sanders wasn't having the day, that's when you make the move. It was tough. It was so tough to watch. And when they blocked the field goal, of course I thought we were going to win because that's so Lions. That's the way the Detroit Lions organization, that's the way it goes for them. They find ways to lose in that fashion. But no, not in Philadelphia. And there was a certain point where we weren't getting anything going and we sucked and there weren't enough boos for my liking. I want to hear the boos so loud that it blares through my television. And no one was booing loud enough. We needed more boos. Because it's unacceptable. It sucks the one time we actually had good-looking offense early in a game, we find a way to drop so many balls. And yes, injuries play a factor in this. Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah, not playing. Big deal. Deshaun Jackson. That speed, that threat, opens up everything. Literally everything. Deshaun Jackson's speed opens up the middle of the field. It opens up the run game. It opens up the play action. It opens up everything. With the loss of that, it's completely different. And, Nelson Agholor can he can run, but, can he catch? It's another game for Nelson Agholor where he had a couple touchdowns, he had a couple nice plays, but these drops, they're a monstrous issue. They are a big-time problem. Like, he has to figure that out. Or we're going to be in big trouble. And he's all in his head now. This is bad. He's at the point in his head where it's concerning. Where it will be a consistent theme. He's really in a funk mentally. It just can't happen. So Ronald Darby gets abused early in this game. He ends up leaving the game with a hamstring injury, which honestly could have been a blessing in disguise. And same with Slay. Slay left the game too. And we still couldn't abuse the corners. Ugh, sickening. Barnett left the game. Andre Dillard left the game. Jason Peters left the game at one point. But his was more of an illness. I don't know. Shoot some IVs up or something. But of course, the injury bug was flying through. How about the Miles Sanders thing? Where Miles Sanders is returning a kickoff and his head was all the way back this way. Like his head was completely like that. No flag. No flag. These quarterbacks get touched like that. Like that. 15 yards. 15 yards. Miles Sanders' head was almost not even connected to his body facing that way. There's so many refs watching the guy with the football, and there's no flag? Now, is that the difference in the game? No, that's not what I'm saying, but it's mind-blowing to think that there are referees that watch this game at a level of profession where you are hired by the National Football League and you miss that call when player safety is the biggest thing in this league, where you just put a pinky on a quarterback and you throw a flag. How did that get missed? How did that get missed? It's unbelievable. We got a short week. You can't dwell on it too long because we go to Green Bay. So, this is my instant reaction. This is how I feel 10 minutes after the game, 15 minutes into the game to try and gather my thoughts just a little bit. Of course, we will have the podcast up tomorrow. We will continue this Eagles talk, but there's really not a lot of time to dissect this game because you're going to Green Bay. But the one thing I will say, and I will repeat this throughout the week, in the NFL, there are always those games you think you're going to win and you lose. And then there's going to be those games where you think you will lose and you win. Could this be that situation? It is possible. Let's see what you think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I will see you next time.